Okay. Oh, God, this is... Oh.
They also both get easily scared. As a kid, Olivia was convinced for years there was an eye looking back at her by her bedside table, and she refused to watch Jurassic Park until she was well into her 20s. Andres, in present day, as an adult, is terrified of ghosts. But impressively, these ghosts haven't stopped Andres from exploring the world. Before Olivia, he never called New York his home. He rivals my husband in the amount of countries he's visited, and in recent years has helped to change the tide on the Sealy vacations.
Olivia is my everything. She's my sister, my best friend, my roommate, and even my coworker. She sends me flowers when I've had a bad day and lets me endlessly vent about whatever trivial issue I am dealing with in that given moment. Olivia is a beautiful writer. She's passionate, she's dedicated, and she's funny. Olivia, words can't describe how happy I am to be toasting you two tonight, and that's not just because you usually write these toasts for me. You're such an incredible person, and I'm constantly in awe of you. I genuinely don't know what I would do without you. Like a little kid wanting to be an astronaut when she grew up, I've always wanted to be you, and I still do. So with that said, I think you're ready for takeoff. Have a blast. May your only ups and downs be between the sheets. Cheers.
So, Olivia, little feet, blue eyes, like mine. White skin, like mine. MWG, my white girl. I know I'm not supposed to say that nowadays. For years, I tried to convince Olivia that she came out of my stomach. She didn't buy it. But when Olivia was little, those little tiny feet were pitter-pattering around the house. And one night she came into our room. Pitter-patter, pitter-patter. All determination. She said, Mom, Dad, Anna was bending over in the tub, and she has a hole in her bum. Very observant person.
Finally, Dries, you seem to be, at least partially, a cure or an antidote to Olivia's Allweiner's disease, which has been the biggest and most critical test. You and Liv challenge and put up with each other, for which we are all eternally grateful. Plus, you give her a run for her money on those baby blue eyes. I love you both so much. Congratulations to you. I wish you all the most wonderful years in the future. Llamas.
sail and windsurf the crystal clear waters of Biscayne Bay and the opaque and freezing waters of northern Holland, which are pretty gross. We went whitewater rafting through treacherous waters in Costa Rica, much too difficult for as young as we were. Thank you, Pop, for that. We would test our limits on rollerblades on Fairgreen Drive, and later both backpacking through Asia solo, which I was inspired by Andres' trip. NPR had a story a few years ago about how in some ways your sibling can be one of the most important people in your life. And for me, this is true. I'm beyond lucky to have Andres as my brother. And he has this drive for harmony and a good time that's unmatched.
So in the beginning, I talked about the steps, the heroic, the magical, the blessed. Wizard, for your first steps, you were walking behind and we were looking after you. And then you were walking with us and with your brother and sister. And now you're walking ahead on a trip of your own. Now you and Andres are finding your own path, making a path filled with love, life, family, and friends. We can't wait to see where these feet of yours will lead you, and we will always, always be there with the both of you.
And they ran to each other as if being directed in a romance film. And she said she was so enamored by their visible love for one another that she hoped one day that she too would find love like that. And as she said, New York City subway life is so stressful. She said, like, who's smiling when they're commuting? Only true love. So, in Olivia, Andres found his match. Olivia, you're beautiful inside and out. Thank you for being you. We wouldn't be the family that we are today without you. So here's to many more years of cinematic subway love encounters, health and happiness and love for Annelies and Olivia. We love you.
Many years ago, the great British explorer George Mallory, who was to die on Mount Everest, was asked why did he want to climb it. He said, because it is there. Years later, JFK sent the United States on a mission to send a man to the moon and return him home safely. Why? Because the moon is there and the US was going to climb it. Today, on the 50th anniversary of the moon landing, the 32nd anniversary of Olivia's birth, 2 young Americans set course for another journey. Why? Because Olivia is there and Andres wants to climb her.
So what I'm saying is she's basically perfect. Honestly, I wasn't sure there was anything that could make a woman like Olivia a better human until she found Andres. When I think about Olivia and Andres, one of the first things that comes to mind is how compatible they are in their similarities. Not only visually, they literally get mistaken for brother and sister, but especially how thoughtful they are as decision makers. Don't think painful hours weren't spent considering the pros and cons of the exact location where everyone is celebrating tonight. Andres, that may or may not have been the first fight you had with Cindy, but Alden can attest it won't be the last.
Thank you for putting together the most insane party I could ever imagine. You are the most beautiful, thoughtful, caring, loving partner I could ever ask for.
But then Isabel came along. And I don't know if you saw her as your mark or competition or frankly just the Seeley family survival instinct triggered. But Whizzer the Whiner soon emerged, and you came down with this significant case of all whiners disease.
It's nice to hear you say hello. And how are things with you? I love you. But very soon it's time to go.
So,
And off
we
this
all
job
went
to
crazy,
do
dancing
while
and
I'm here
dancing,
writing
and all of a
songs
sudden
for
I
you.
look over and I see Olivia shaking them shoulders. Just shaking them shoulders. And I love them shoulders, Olivia, by the way. And at that moment I knew she was one of us. And she was going to be with us for a really long time. And I feel so lucky to have her as addition to our very crazy little family.
it's not over. Cheers to Andres and Olivia. Mayas.